Something new is waiting for you at Disneyland. It looks rather innocent, just a big old mansion. But there's a twist. You see, this mansion is haunted.
One of the most famous attractions in the world is the original Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. Back in the late 1960s, as the attraction was being developed, the park posted this promotional sign. Notice, all ghosts and restless spirits, it began. Post-lifetime leases are now available in this haunted mansion. In the months leading up to the mansion's grand opening, Disneyland released photos of its effects designer, Yale Gracie, posing with mock-ups of various ghosts. The most widely circulated of these photos was of an early prototype for the Hatbox Ghost. Now, what exactly does a Hatbox Ghost do? Well, according to this internal memo, the evil grinning face of a cloaked figure disappears from the body and reappears glowing hideously in a hatbox. More or less like this. A lighting effect, illuminating one area and darkening another. But there was a problem. Though the lighting effect worked well at the test facility in Glendale, it didn't always work at the actual mansion in Disneyland.
But the story is even more convoluted because in this very spot when Disneyland opened was a notorious Hatbox Ghost. And if you look at some of the publicity around that time, you'll see the great effects designer Yale Gracie posing with this ghost. And the way he stood was about like this, and he was kind of a mean guy. And his head disappeared and then appeared in a box that was for holding hats here. So this head came on and then this one went away. And evidently when they ran this at WDI or WED at the time, it worked great in a controlled room, but here inside of a ride where guests go by and see it from all different angles, evidently the illusion didn't meet expectations. Plus it was really kind of grisly. And so as a ride operator, I was given an opportunity to ride the ride about a week before opening. We were able to go around for 2 hours. And each time we'd get into the seance area, we'd yell across to other friends saying, "Did you see that? Next time look for this," and so forth. And I remember distinctly this is where it was. But before the ride opened, that figure was gone. And nobody knows the whereabouts. None of the molds exist. None of the characters exist. It completely vanished. So the whereabouts of the Hatbox Ghost is to this day a mystery, but I can attest to the fact that I saw it in this very spot originally.
Even though the Hatbox Ghost wasn't in the mansion, he was included in books and records that the company sold for years.
He was a cloaked figure with an evil, grinning face. A hatbox hung from his hand.
And perhaps that led to some of the confusion. When the internet got going in the 1990s, dozens of regular park guests claimed they had seen Old Hattie when the mansion first opened back in August of 1969. There were discussion forums and more discussion forums, web pages about the Hatbox Ghost. The Hatbox Ghost even had a Facebook page. But oddly, no photos of the Hatbox Ghost in the mansion. Those photos included here are promotional mock-ups and reference photos, not photos of the Hatbox Ghost in the attraction. Was the Hatbox Ghost removed before the attraction opened? Was it there for a few days? Did any guests ever really see it? And then, 40 years after opening day, one photo finally appeared. A flash photo, most likely taken by a guest, but still, just one photo. And then last month, while going through some old home movies, I came across something unusual. Home movies of a day at Disneyland, the submarine voyage, and there's the sea monster. And then we're in a different attraction, someplace dark. Let's freeze that. That there is the chandelier in the ballroom. Freeze frame. That there is the bride. So we're in the attic scene, with film dated August 1969, when the mansion opened. Remember, the Hatbox Ghost was positioned very close to the ride vehicles. Here we go. Let's slow that down. Then I retransferred it. Freeze, and let's bring in that other photo. And so, the most famous ghost in the mansion really did live in the attic, if only for a few days.